Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I will be doing a spoiler-free review of The Huntress by Kate Quinn, and if you guys have been watching my channel recently, you know I was super excited for this book. I really love the Alice Network, so I had really high expectations going into it. So basically the general breakdown of this video is I'll kind of do a general synopsis and then my pros and cons. So overall this story I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. It lived up to all of my expectations and it was just like, it was everything I wanted to be and more. So the general premise of this, it follows a woman who was known as the Huntress, and she was this notorious Nazi who got away with killing children. She would take them into her home, feed them, and then murder them in cold blood. And so this kind of story follows not only the Huntress, but then also 3 main characters as well, and it's told from their 3 perspectives. So we first have Ian, who is a reporter, and his brother was murdered by the Huntress, and he's tracking down Nazis and so that they get prosecuted, the ones that ran away and did not seek justice. So he's kind of doing that, and he's made it his life mission to finally catch the Huntress. Then we have Nina, who is connected to Ian. They met each other at the end of the war, and she is a Russian fighter pilot. They were known as the Night Witches, and she has somewhere her story kind of crossed paths with the Huntress as well. And then we have Jordan, who is all the way out in Boston, and her father ends up marrying this woman, and there's something off about her. Jordan is very much kind of torn between this because there's something off about her, and there's just something like that makes Jordan have that funny feeling in her stomach. Like there's something off about her. So I think that's kind of a good general premise of this. But like I said, I love this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. And if you're a sucker for World War II historical fiction, this is for you. It shows so many kind of different aspects of the war, especially in Russia following Nina's story. I did not know a lot about Russia during World War II, just in terms, a lot of the books I do read take place more in Central Europe. So this one was a little bit different setting as well for World War II, so that's always a plus. So starting out with the prose, I really like, again with the Alice Network, Kate Quinn is able to seamlessly weave in the 3 storylines, and it doesn't feel like you're stop and go with these different storylines. They're very interconnected, and I think that's what makes this book flow really well, and I really think she did a really good job with that. And you get very connected with these characters, even though we're getting 3 different points of views, 3 different storylines that somehow at the end all become interconnected. I felt very connected to the characters and just kind of learning from their perspective and just getting to know them. They're very different in their own unique ways, and I think she did a really good job, even though there's so many characters that we're keeping up with and so many storylines over the course of a decade that we're following, that you still get connected, and you still, like, in that seamlessly weaving in those storylines, like you can find that connection in there, and I think she did a really good job with that. And there's a surprise cameo in here, so if you've read the Alice Network, there'll be a little guest appearance by one of the characters from that book. So I was like, I read that and then I was like, oh my god, and so I was really excited about that. So if you've read the Alice Network, there'll be a little sneak peek, like a little appearance by one of the characters in there. So I was really super excited by that, and I wasn't expecting it, but I love how she tied in that character as well with the storyline. And apparently Ian, who is somewhat introduced in the Alice Network, but I don't remember him. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read that and I'll be on the lookout for him, because they do talk about how they met during World War II, which I thought was really interesting as well. And I was just really invested in this story overall. Like, I was trying to figure out, how are they gonna capture this woman? Like, they're all the way over here and like all this stuff is going on in Boston. Like, how is this gonna end? But that ending, oh my goodness, was so intense. Like, I honestly read the last like 200 pages in one day, because I'm like, I just need to know how this ends. Like, and boy, the last 50 pages were just amazing. Like, I honestly could not put it down. Like, my heart was pounding out of my chest. Like, that's how invested I was in this story. But the only con I had is that it was maybe a tad bit too long in some parts. There's a good chunk in the middle where we're still developing a lot of the characters' background, but as a plot, like plot-wise, a lot does not happen. And I feel like it could have been condensed a little bit, but like that's honestly like just a minor detail because I still really enjoyed being in this world, learning about these characters and their background and just how they, like, how these events made them who they are today. So that's just like a minor little tad bit, but like I said, overall this book was just amazing. My favorite book that I've read this year so far. And if you haven't read The Alice Network or The Huntress, I highly recommend you do. Like, they're my two favorite books. And yeah, definitely within my top 5 of all time. So definitely check this book out and this author as well. Like, start with The Alice Network and then go to this just because you'll get that little cameo in it. But I was not disappointed, and this book was just everything I expected it to be and so much more. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you've read this book and what you thought about it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.